Hello everyone, Alistair Gold here and welcome to episode 22 of Gold Goes to the Movies. I'm back with a varied bunch of movies this time, as they often are to be fair. 2 at the cinema, 1 on an airplane, 1 on streaming, and 2 blast from the past movies which we're trying to incorporate into these as much as possible now. Because there's so many movies that I myself am finding, despite the fact being a bit of a movie geek and having seen thousands upon thousands of films, I'm still finding ones from the past that I've never seen. And there were 2 that cropped up this week as well. 2 cinema trips were to see The Life of Chuck and The Naked Gun. You've got to remember the. Two cinema trips with the in there. I watched Novocaine on a flight, Baby Girl on streaming, and those blast from the past movies were Finding Neverland and Girls Just Want to Have Fun, which was one I had not anticipated watching this week at all. You'll find that my wife, Mrs. Gold, has a bit of a theme throughout this episode of various films that she either came along with or wanted to see. That seems to be very much the theme of this episode. Let's start with The Life of Chuck, which we in the UK are getting a little bit later than everyone else. A fair bit later, to be honest, than the USA. I think it premiered at the Toronto Film Festival September last year, so that's almost a year ago. Came out to USA, I think, in June this year, and we're just getting it right now. It's based on a Stephen King short story, if you're not aware. It's got a great cast: Tom Hiddleston, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Karen Gillan, Mia Sara, Carl Lumbly, Jacob Tremblay, Benjamin Pajak, Mark Hamill's in it as well, and it's also narrated by Nick Offerman as well. You might know from various things. Parks and Rec, I know him from. Also, The Last of Us had a brilliant episode as well, didn't he, in the first series. So this movie, The Life of Chuck, it's a movie in reverse. So it starts with Act 3. Act 3, how do I describe this? I think the best way to describe it is that it gives you a mystery at the start that you're trying to understand, and as the movie goes on, you understand more about it because of the background, because of the reverse chronological ordering of the film. The mysterious titular character of Chuck, who is played by Tom Hiddleston. It's kind of 2 movies in one, in a weird way. It's a movie at its start about kind of a world that appears to be ending, or heading towards its end anyway. Which is all very, very well done, and that's the main bulk of the story about. It's got Chiwetel Ejiofor and Karen Gillan in that section of it, and within that section there is this kind of strange, mysterious character called Chuck. And the second and third parts of this film are more about Chuck and who he is and why he is such a key part of this first act, or Act 3. It's confusing, but you'll know what I mean if you're going to see it. So this is... I really liked the different aspects of it. So with Act 3, it is about the world essentially falling apart, heading towards potentially its end days. It's classic Stephen King in a way. He sets up a very creepy concept, doesn't he, in his work. And it's got that. It's unsettling without dipping into the horror elements that we know Stephen King does as well. The general criticism of Stephen King often gets from people is that he can have an amazing concept, a great opening, a decent middle, and then sometimes it will peter out towards the end, or it has an ending that you're a bit like, what? I would say that this didn't fall into that narrative for me. I quite enjoyed it from start to finish, and I like the way it was constructed. I don't think everyone will, but I like the way it was constructed. Tom Hiddleston's Chapter 2 is very good, and it has a dance number in it, which probably one of the best dance numbers I've seen in a movie, including musicals, in years. It is that good. It's fantastic. It's a little bit like, the drum solo in Whiplash. A little bit like the big drum solo in Whiplash. It's kind of got that vibe of like, oh my goodness, how long can this go on for? But it's just can't take your eyes off it. It's that kind of thing. It's really good. And then we kind of dip back into Chuck's childhood. And you've got a newcomer, Benjamin Pajak. He's very good. Very, very good. It's got a little bit of the Fabelmans vibe to, I felt, that chapter, which is Chapter 1, but is actually at the end of the movie. I really like Mark Hamill turns up as his grandfather. He's very good. And as Mia Sara as his grandmother, I haven't seen her in years. I had to look her up because I was like, No, it isn't, is it? And I looked it up afterwards, and Mia Sara was in Ferris Bueller. She was his kind of love interest, girlfriend. She was also in Legend. She was in Time Cop a little while later as well. And this is apparently her first movie appearance in 12 years. She's excellent. She's so good in it. It's just kind of almost a shame that she hasn't been in movies since, and hopefully this will mark her kind of return to movies. It's all directed, edited, adapted the screenplay as well from a Stephen King novella by Mike Flanagan, who you might know has done a couple of Stephen King things before. He did Doctor Sleep 6 years ago, I think that was. He also did Gerald's Game in 2017. He's done a few horror things in cinema, but I would say this doesn't really fall into this category. It's more Shawshanky. I'm not saying it's the level of Shawshank, but it's that kind of more a story being told rather than a horror story being told. And I liked it. It's not going to make a lot of money. It didn't make hardly anything in the US, but it's a good movie with different aspects that I find very interesting, and they're all kind of sewn into one. I liked it. My wife liked it a lot. I think some people might not like the fact that it is almost a couple of movies in one, but it's got that kind of almost like an anthology feel to it. I really liked it. As you can probably tell, it is The Life of Chuck. So make your own mind up, of course. I'm not sure how long it will be in the cinema for. Might be one of those that kind of has a bit of a second life, as it were, when it comes to streaming. But it's a nice film with lots of, how do I put this, kind of interesting, important views on life, I suppose is the way to put it. Other cinema trip this week was to see The Naked Gun. And if I say my wife enjoyed The Life of Chuck, she did not enjoy The Naked Gun. Not in the slightest. I think the difference was she likes a good Stephen King tale. She'd never seen the original Naked Gun trilogy or the Police Squad series. This one, if you kind of missed anything about it, it's got Liam Neeson now in the main role. Pamela Anderson's in there as well. Paul Walter Hauser's in there as well in a good little role. It's got serial bad guys Kevin Durand and Danny Houston in there too. So yes, my wife really didn't enjoy it. Mrs. Gold did not like it one bit. My opinion, I think I fell into the classic trap, which sometimes happens with films, of reading loads of amazing reviews that said this film was the funniest movie of the year, you won't stop laughing. And I think that maybe set the bar a little bit too high for me, if I'm honest. It's definitely got some funny gags in it, some very amusingly silly moments, and it's got definitely the vibe of the original Police Squad and the Naked Gun films, which I used to love. And I really like Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin Jr. He gets the tone just right. He was actually 72 when he filmed this, whereas Leslie Nielsen was 5 years younger when he did the final one, the third one. I think I just didn't laugh out loud as much as I hoped or expected I would. There's plenty of smiling at stuff, and there's like loads of dad joke kind of stuff in there, which is really my kind of humour. There was a couple behind me that absolutely adored it from start to finish. They were like belly laughing the entire way through. And I think I was maybe getting even more of an enjoyment out of their reaction to stuff than I was the actual material itself. It's been long in the making, a fourth Naked Gun film. There was originally, Leslie Nielsen was set to come back. I think it was going to be maybe a direct-to-TV one way back. I think he died 2010. It was just before that. Then Ed Helms of The Office, probably best known as The American Office, was attached for a while. And the Hangover movies, of course he was. And then Seth MacFarlane of Family Guy came on board, took on the property and developed it with this idea of Liam Neeson being in it. It's done well. It's already made back double its budget of $40 million. You would imagine a sequel come into play at some point. Apparently there's been some talks about it already. Akiva Schaffer directs it. He's a member of the Lonely Island group. You might know them. It's kind of Andy Samberg. It's like a kind of a funny musical group, but he also has directed and produced a few of the movies that Andy Samberg's been in. It's Palm Springs, potentially one of them, I think, as well. It's like I said, this is a fun film. I don't know if many people will be laughing riotously from start to finish. There's a funny little running gag with coffee that I did enjoy. And like I said, it's very faithful to the original material. I just think I didn't quite get those big laughs that I wanted to come out of the cinema with. Sometimes it's with who you're with, not to blame Mrs. Gold, but the fact that I could tell that she wasn't enjoying it, it wasn't her kind of humour, maybe that played a part. Maybe I'll have to watch it again when it comes onto streaming. But yeah, it didn't quite hit the mark for me. What did hit the mark was Novocaine. Watched that, like I said, on a flight. It was one I'd wanted to see at the cinema, but managed to miss my opportunity to do that entirely. It stars Jack Quaid, who is great in The Boys, which is a show I love. And he popped up in a little cameo, fun cameo in Heads of State, which I spoke about in a previous video. In this movie, he plays Nathan Kane, who is an assistant manager in a bank. And he has this real condition, which is congenital I'm going to have to read this one out. Congenital insensitivity to pain with ardrosis, which is nicely just CIPA, C-I-P-A. It essentially means he cannot feel pain in any way. It doesn't matter how bad it is, he cannot feel it. So there's little things like he doesn't like to chew food because he wouldn't know if he was biting his own tongue off and things like that. So, of course, fate would have it that he discovers that actually he could use his affliction or illness as a good thing. When the bank is robbed and the co-worker he has the hots for gets taken hostage. It's a really fun, clever film. It gets a bit gory towards the end because obviously there's various things happening to him that are getting worse and worse, but he can't feel the pain in them. He just has to keep going. Jack Quaid is excellent in it. He's really good. Something I didn't even think about until afterwards I read about this, I think one of the directors was speaking about it, is he had to learn to not flinch while taking a stage punch. Because you think about it, actors are trained to kind of overreact to punches that don't actually connect with them. Whereas he had to do the complete opposite and not react in any way because he doesn't feel the pain of the punch. The action scenes kind of taken really or put together really well handled by it's a directorial duo of Dan Burke and Robert Olson. Apparently they always had Quaid in their minds for this role after seeing him in The Boys. In one interview I saw that they said they kind of see him as potentially this generation's Tom Hanks, as in early Tom Hanks. And it's got a good cast as well. The rest of the cast, Amber Midthunder, you might remember from Prey. She was excellent in that. She's very good in this. It's like a complicated love interest that is far more than a love interest. You've got Ray Nicholson in there, son of Jack, who recently was in Smile 2, was in a creepy little cameo, or creepy role. He's a very effective bad guy in this as well. And you've got a nice couple of little turns from Jacob Batalon of Spider-Man fame. He's in this. And you've got Matt Walsh and Betty Gabriel as cops. They're the kind of actors you'll know them from everything. There've been loads of stuff. Betty Gabriel especially was Get Out, if I remember correctly. I'd really recommend Novocaine. It's one of kind of the most fun films I've watched in recent times. It's a different kind of movie. Like I said, a bit gory towards the end. If that's not your thing, you might want to kind of hide behind a cushion towards the last 20 minutes. I'm not saying it's a little bit cartoony in a way because of the kind of movie it is, but it is still it gets a bit gory. It does, but it's very fun and clever. It's made double its $18 million budget already, which is a good thing because it's this kind of movie. And I think it will do really well on streaming. I'm not sure if it's on there yet or not. It's still pay-per-view kind of thing, but good fun. Next up is another film that Mrs. Gold, she didn't see Novocaine, but this one she played her part in because she wanted it put on. She'd heard things about it and so wanted to see it. I don't know if she did her research entirely. It is Baby Girl, because it was definitely not what she was expecting and probably not what I was expecting either. If you're not aware of Baby Girl, it's an A24 release. It's written and directed by Dutch director Helena Rein. It was doing the film festival circuit late last summer. Came out on Christmas Day in the cinemas. It's about the CEO of a company, played by Nicole Kidman, who has an affair with a young intern, played by Harris Dickinson. And there's this, in the movie, there's this 24-year age gap between them. A bit like I found with Anora, I would definitely say don't watch this film on an airplane. I didn't on this occasion. We watched it on streaming on Amazon Prime Video, I think it was. Do not watch this if you're on a flight and you see it's on there. I'm just warning you, it's rather rude and it starts right from the off. If you are on a plane and you don't want other people seeing what's on your screen, this might not be the movie for you. It's what you'd call, I suppose, an erotic thriller, maybe. There's nothing particularly thrilling about it, but it definitely has lots of the rude stuff. I think my main issue with it was, while the acting is very good, you can definitely see the acting is excellent all round, I just didn't find the characters particularly likeable. And I know that's not a main important thing for movies. I just felt in this one it maybe was. Nicole Kidman is great as always. She's very strong, isn't she? Terrific actress. She's a strong lead, is what I meant to say. Harris Dickinson, he commands the screen whenever he's on it. He's very watchable. Obviously, he was in The Iron Claw. He was good in. He's set to play John Lennon as well, and Sam Mendes' 4-part Beatles biopic coming up as well. I would maybe argue with his character especially, never really develops during the film, and we don't find out loads about him, which maybe is deliberate, but I kind of felt that meant I never truly warmed to his character. It almost felt like he was just this incendiary character placed into the film, into this world. Antonio Banderas is in it. He's good as the cheated on husband. Ewan McGregor's daughter Esther is their older daughter as well. I thought their roles were quite nice, mainly personally because they were more relatable and likable, and you could you felt for them in a way. And I think just the main relationship is, I just didn't feel I cared enough about it. I didn't feel like, oh no, don't get caught and stuff like that. It was kind of almost just like, yeah, it just didn't quite work for me. And there's this kind of running theme throughout the movie of Nicole Kidman's character Romy wanting to be controlled, almost wanting to be degraded, because she's always used to being the boss, and it's like flipping around her daily life, I suppose. And it's quite uncomfortable to watch in those aspects as well, which I guess is the point as well. It is another brave performance from Nicole Kidman. She bears all in every sense. It's a very vulnerable character. And I guess it looks to normalise age gaps as well in relationships, especially when it's from the woman's side being the older one. And I think she does capture the struggle between a powerful woman but with this real vulnerability as well. But I wouldn't say it's one I'd probably want to watch again. It's made almost $65 million, I think, off a $20 million budget. And it's got generally good reviews. So obviously people have enjoyed it. Just didn't quite work for me in terms of a kind of a connection with the characters, I think is what it was. Blast from the Past, two of them before I go. The first one, Finding Neverland, based very, 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 very loosely on the story of J.M. Barrie's relationship with a family who inspired him to write Peter Pan. Many people may have watched this by now. I just, for some reason, missed out when it came out back in 2004. It's got Johnny Depp in it. It's got Kate Winslet. It's got young Freddie Highmore in there. It's got Julie Christie in it. It's got Dustin Hoffman in it. It is a great cast. Freddie Highmore and Johnny Depp, this is before they went on to be in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory together, which I believe Johnny Depp told Tim Burton he just had to use this young kid that he'd just worked with. And because Freddie Highmore was just a terrific actor and still obviously acting as an adult as well. It's really lovely film. Really beautifully shot. It earned 7 Oscar nominations at the time. Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Adapted Screenplay, Costume Design, Editing, Art Direction. It won for Best Score. It's directed by the German-born director Mark Forster, who gave us some brilliant films. Monsters Ball, Stranger Than Fiction, The Kite Runner, World War Z, Quantum of Solace, the Bond movie as well, which I think he was the youngest Bond movie director at 38. He also did Christopher Robin, which my wife really likes. A Man Called Otto with Tom Hanks a couple of years back, which I quite enjoyed that as well. Freddie Highmore is very good in this. Johnny Depp is very good. Everyone's really good. There's no bad performances whatsoever. And I think a nice little link again to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the late English actress Eileen Essel, who this was one of her first film performances, despite the fact she was 82 at the time. She would end up going on to play Grandma Josephine in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. She was it's a really fascinating story. She was a stage actress who gave it all up to become a teacher, and then really late in life just thought, I want to get back into acting, and became a film actress for the first time. It's just amazing. She's in his big films, his big Johnny Depp films. Made loads of money relatively for this film. $25 million budget, made $115 million at the box office. Like I said, don't look for historical accuracy. You will not find it in this film when you look up the real story. It's just a really nice film with terrific performances all round. I watched it on the Sky Movies, and Mrs. Gold and I both loved it. Very good. Mrs. Gold coming into play again here for the second film, 1985 movie I'd never actually heard of, if I'm completely honest. She spotted it on Amazon Prime as we were flicking through looking for something to watch. So yeah, it's her fault in a way, although it's not a bad film. It's just not my kind of film. Girls just want to have fun. It's the story of a young girl, the daughter of an army man, who dreams of being on this dance show in Chicago called Dance TV. It's full of actors who would go on to become stars in other things. It's got Sarah Jessica Parker. It's got Helen Hunt, Jonathan Silverman, who I think, if I remember correctly, was Weekend at Bernie's, which I used to love. Shannon Doherty, Beverly Hills 90210 fame, in an early role in this. I would definitely say that this is a movie for the young girls of that time. My wife said if she'd known about it back then, she would have loved this film. It was very much in her wheelhouse, and apparently it barely made anything at the box office. Got a lot of play on cable TV in America, and it kind of became a bit of a cult film. It's directed by Alan Mehta, who brought us such classics as Police Academy, Mission to Moscow, Back to School, the Rodney Dangerfield movie as well. It's all, if you're not worked it out by now, it's based, girls just want to have fun. It's based on a song by Cyndi Lauper, but they could only use the original 1979 version of the film, not hers, which was a changed version. She didn't want it to be used, all very messy. They had to record like a new cover of it with someone else. And that kind of sums up the movie, really. It's a little bit messy, it's a bit daft, it's not very memorable at all. I'd say out of all of those cast, Helen Hunt is the one that just like bang, you can just tell she's going to be a big kind of star as she gets older. She's got something very special about her, and like wise beyond years. There was talk of Elizabeth Banks remaking this a couple of years ago. It'd be interesting to see how that works in, today and all of that. I'm probably not that interested to see how it works, to be honest, but my wife enjoyed it. It was a bit of more of a blast from the past of the movies she used to enjoy in the 80s, I think. So yeah, that's the latest bunch of movies. Loads coming out. I still need to see Weapons. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to see it before it comes out at the cinema, which is a massive shame. This week is a busy one coming up in the cinema. We've got Caught Stealing with Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz. The Roses with Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch. The Toxic Avenger with Peter Dinklage as well. First week of September, we've got Honey Don't, which has got Margaret Qualley, Aubrey Plaza and Chris Evans. What else have we got? Oh, there's a new Conjuring movie, Last Rites, with Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. On Swift Horses, also getting released with Daisy Edgar-Jones, Jacob Elordi and Will Poulter. Later next month, there's the new Downton Abbey, if that's your thing. The grand finale, Spinal Tap 2, which will be very interesting. A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey with Colin Farrell, Margot Robbie and Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And a little bit later, you've got One Battle After Another with Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn and Benicio del Toro. So loads of films. I think we're kind of past the blockbuster time now, aren't we, of the summer? And we're getting into a lot of quite interesting films with various stars in it, which will either be wonderful or not. And maybe you, I guess, are in that kind of season where you're starting to get towards Academy Award nominee season. So yeah, plenty to dive into. But yeah, hopefully a little array of movies there. No real kind of blockbuster among them, but some interesting ones for your movie watching palette, as it were. Hopefully you'll watch a few of them that you might not have thought to. Probably not Girls Just Want to Have Fun, I would imagine, but maybe some of the others. Right, time to head off after that little bunch. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, look after yourselves, keep watching those movies. Goodbye.